Hey YouTube, this is Gracie and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I will be showing you guys how to make this Disneybounding Simba card and also be telling you a little bit about the inspiration behind it. So let me go ahead and get started by telling you the inspiration. So my very first piece that I knew I wanted to use were some circle die cuts, and I wanted to turn them into Simba's mane. So these definitely represent his mane as he grows up a little bit. And then the inner circles here are the same colors that are found on his face, but I also thought it looked kind of cool, almost looked like a sun setting or sun rising, which happens in the movie. So I thought that was kind of a cool symbolism or whatever you want to call it. Also on this background here that I created slightly by accident, I just thought it was kind of cool. I wanted to do some sort of black lines or something to represent the designs and shapes around his eyes. And then of course I had to use the word king. So this was the second piece of main inspiration that I wanted to represent here, because Simba, since he was a little cub, wanted to be a king. So I thought this would be a very cool guy card, or someone who just really likes to party. There you go. So I wanted to keep the inside of the card simple and plain because I am planning on using this card in the future, and I wanted to kind of leave that up to chance. But the back side, I did my G stamp and I let it be a little bit speckly also because I thought it blended well with the speckly inkness on the front of the card as well. So let me go ahead and hurry up and get started showing you guys how to make this card. So I used my 5.5 by 4 inch card, and this is my brown card version. And I got my cards in a set of cards and envelopes from Hobby Lobby. So if you guys are interested in those, I highly recommend it. They usually do coupons and sales on them, so definitely head over there. So the very first thing, obviously you want to cut down your light brown piece of cardstock, and you're going to want to run it through an embossing folder. Now this is the one I used. This is from the Paper Studio, and please ignore my really inked up dark fingers because this is a bit of a messy project. So I ended up inking it on the wrong side. Again, by chance, nothing is a real mistake in crafting, right? So I inked it on this side, which this is the actual, I guess, chevron design is the raised part. And let me go ahead and show you a little bit of what it ends up looking like. I can always clean it up. So I'm using my Memento Tuxedo black ink, and I'm literally just brushing it across the top and then also patting it. So as you can see, it's kind of coming up here and there and not entirely. And I liked the way that that looked. I liked that it was almost distressed. So that's kind of what you end up with. And then you're gonna wanna put your piece of cardstock, and I'll leave the dimensions to all the sizes in the description box. So all I did was just put that face down with the texture face down, and then this is how it came out. So I didn't have a whole bunch of time to kind of do that on this video. So this is what it comes out to look like. And then the next thing you'll want to do is take your circle die cuts, in which I used these Sizzix Framelits, and they are 8 dies, a total of 8. And these are the 3 sizes that I used. I used the largest, and then these other 2 sizes. Again, I will leave that in the description box as well. So the very first step was to take, let me go ahead and move this aside, some of my cardstock, which I don't think I have a large enough piece any longer, but I used the cardstock and I did the largest circle, and then this size, I'm sorry, not that size, this size on the inside. And I ran that through my die cut machine, and this is what came out. Let's see if I can get it over here for you. This is what came out. Now the next step was to use my little hatching scissors, and I just went all the way around the whole circle and cut those little etches out. And then the next size down was I took the large one away and brought in this size and kept this one in the center. So basically, both of the centers of the circles are the same size. So you will see here, this is what came out. These are the two sizes. And then I'll go ahead and show you exactly what I meant by doing the etchings around the edge. Now, some of them you'll need to leave a little bit more room so you can kind of curve with the circle. So as you can see, I'm going to be starting right here. And that leaves this little piece here. Oops, not that piece. This little piece here. And it's more of like a triangle shape. And that's okay because we need it to go all the way around. So you'll just go ahead and follow along here. And the nice thing about, now you may be thinking, why didn't you just leave the center there? Well, it also allows some of the lining of the embossing, die cut to leave a line. So it kind of gives you a guide. You can see it here. Gives you a guide of where to cut. So there you go. Just a few more. Actually, one more. It's hard to see. Right in there. And that's okay if pieces come out. That's totally fine. It's just going to make it look even cooler. So you're going to want to kind of fray those edges a little bit and make it kind of stick up. So those are the two sizes that came out. And I want to lay them inside of each other. Now we'll go ahead and set those aside for right now. Let me show you the next step. The next step is to cut out the inner circles. Now, the first one that I did was the, let's see if I could find it over here, was the light brown. And this is the same light brown that I used for the background. And I actually used a punch, this one here, this giant size one. This is 2.8 inches. And I don't know what company, oh, Fiskers, there we go. You could tell by the color, of course, the orange. But anyway, so that is the size that I used for this light color here. And then I used the same smallest circle, or the inner circle, from these circles to cut out this piece of cardstock. So you can see there it's the same size. So what you'll want to do next is glue these together. Pretty simple. And just go ahead, and I'm going to use the liquid glue on this time because I want to be able to move it into position. And using the liquid glue, as I have said in my previous videos, it really allows you to make less mistakes. Some mistakes are okay, too many are just, you got to start all over. So we'll go ahead and turn that around. I already added some of my pop dots there. And I'll leave the name of the company that the pop dots that I use. So they just kind of fit right inside of each other. And then at the end, these are all going to fit inside of these. So let me go ahead and show you guys the very next step is cutting out your letters. Now this is the set that I use. This is the Spellbinders, Shapeabilities. They have so many fun names. And this is the Etched alphabet. And basically what I did was put down a piece of, again, really thick cardstock. This is the thick cardstock that I use. And I basically used, let's see here, the Art C kind of gold putty, but this is more of the bronze actually. And I used a Q-tip. This is really fun stuff. It smells a little funny, but it works really well. And I really love playing with it. It's got a really cool texture. I've done a ton of other cards using this stuff. So basically what I did was this is the finished product. I took my cardstock and I inked all the way around here so I'd have enough space to die cut all the letters. So this is all I did. It just kind of rubs onto the paper, and I just did a bunch of circles and I spread it out as much as I needed to be able to use all those die cuts. So that's basically what I did, and it kind of has this like swooshy look to it. It's got a cool texture, and I really, really enjoyed that, and I hope you guys do too. So let me go ahead and move that aside. So you're gonna wanna run that through your die cut machine and get all of your letters for Party King. Oh no, I dropped them all. Here we go. I was gonna pull it over, smooth move, and show you guys. This is basically, oh, here we go. this is basically what it comes out to look like. And we don't need that anymore, or that. And we're gonna use our pokey tool and just kind of poke through everything. Get it all out of their little die cut pieces here. Just like so. Just like that. And I actually ran that through the die cut machine, I think like 3 times, just so that they would all come out smoothly and well. And they also have these little lines in them and detailing from the die cuts, and I wanted to make sure that that showed up, so I ran that through the die cut machine a couple times for that purpose. All right, so those are the actual letters. There we go. Let's get those separated. And just a few more pieces here, just kind of using the pokey tool to get the letter out, and then any extra scrap pieces out as well. All those little pieces in the negative space. And I really actually enjoy these letters the most out of all the letters that we have in our collection. So I definitely recommend you guys getting these as well. They're really fun and they're really versatile. You can use them for a lot of different style cards. Let me go ahead and move that aside. And now, before we lose our pieces, let's go ahead and just shove those aside real quick, and let's get started gluing everything down. So let me get my card out. This is the company here. This is the Paper Studio. That is the set that I used for the brown cardstock, or the brown cards. And this is what it looks like. You end up just folding it in half. You go along with its natural crease there that they put into it. And then you're gonna wanna glue down your background with a little bit of liquid glue, again, because you have all these little nooks and crannies, and you wanna make sure that it's all glued down, and using the liquid glue will get into all those little spaces and help to keep it down. So go ahead and flip that over and place that on our card. And go ahead and press firmly. Again, I'm sorry about my fingers, they're all inked up. And the next thing you'll want to do is glue down your largest circle for your main. And I would normally use my smaller, let me go ahead and use my smaller applicator, glue applicator. This little tube here. We got this separate from our glue, just so for little projects like this where you want to make sure you don't get too much glue on the project itself. So not so much glue kind of, pops out of the sides and makes a mess. There you go. And just go ahead and flip that over and place it in the center. Now you're gonna have some of the main pop out of the top and the bottom of the card, and that is okay. That was actually my intention. That's why I used the largest die cut out of that collection, out of the Sizzix Framelits, because I wanted it to kind of overlap, and it makes it just a little bit more interesting that way. More intriguing, I think. So after that, you'll want to take your smaller piece of main there and move this aside, and we're going to use some pop dots to make it all pop. So I'm taking these really small ones, and I'm going to use my scissors to cut them in half because I don't want the pop dot to show. So let's go ahead and use that, and we're only going to do 4 pieces, so we're going to cut into 2 of these pop dots. Go ahead and take that backing off already. Okay, one more. Oops, extra one came off. And we're just going to cut that down the center again and use that on the side. Like so. And then you're going to make sure you push firmly. We're going to take those and swipe these little backings off. Then we'll take our card back and place this in the middle. Ta-da! It's a little uneven, but that's okay. Next thing you'll want to do is put a couple pop dots on your 2 circles there, and then we'll go ahead and place those down on the card as well. Again, press firmly because of all the little raised edges from the embossing folder. And then we're going to take our letters. Now let me see if I can get all of these really quickly put on here. Basically, all you're going to want to do, and I actually recommend using some tweezers, gluing the backs of them and placing them onto the card. Now I'm not going to do that step for you guys today because this video is quite long and I figure you guys know how to, you know, to place things and glue things. So let's go ahead and leave it at that. So that basically that's all you're going to be doing is just gluing those on to your card. Now also make sure that you want them to go in the right position. So, oops. I know how to spell, I swear. So go ahead and place them on there first, then remove one at a time and glue them one at a time because you'll find it a little bit easier to maneuver all of your letters around. So there you go. You can make it kind of fun and do it unevenly. You can kind of, you know, zigzag them a little bit if you want. It's really up to you and what your aesthetic is. So I hope you guys like this card. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And yeah, stay tuned for more to come. We're going to be doing a lot of exciting things soon. Hopefully this weekend I will be showing you guys some of the stuff I got at a scrapbook expo that happened in my area. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great day and I will see you next time. Bye!